And a great good evening to everybody. It is the Tonic Man. Hello and welcome. Wanted to cover a couple of things before we get into the call, and mostly to tell you all that we think that it would be a good idea for the summer to give everybody a bit of a break. So we have some of the Team Jurak who are going to be on holidays over the next few weeks, and it would be a lot easier on us to have this call once a month for the summer months until we get cracking again back in the fall. So the plan now is that August the 15th will be the next call. And we have asked our host with the most, Lenny Atencio, to handle that call. And he is ready, willing, and able to jump in. So that'll be August the 15th. And then the next one will be September the 12th. But we'll confirm all that in our email blast that we send out this week after this call. Okay, so that's one little bit of housekeeping we wanted to pass along. And the other one is that we did ask everybody if you would choose or prefer or like or be easier for everybody a different day for the conference call where maybe a lot of people you're talking to can't make it on Sunday. So if you want to text in, you can on 702-482-5290. And don't worry about writing this down. When you get the email, you can listen to the call and grab that number, 702-482-5290. That is our texting number at home office. Just tell us in a few words what you would prefer. We'll try and find a better day for people because a lot of folks can't make it on Sunday. A lot of folks who would like to contribute their success story to this call, which is actually so important, and we'll get into why that's so important, can't make it on Sundays. And a live call is always better. We can pre-record them, and we do that for a lot of folks. But sometimes a live call is just a little bit more peppy. I don't know. The word come out. But one way or the other, we can do it. Whatever is good for any of you. Just, again, let us know what's good for you. Any of you who cannot make the call on Sunday and would like to share your testimonial, your success story, you can text us on that number. You can always call 1-800-JC Tonic and leave a message, either the previous question, what day you would like the call to be, or if you would like to contribute your success story, and we will put you on the schedule and set it up, either pre-recorded or get you on a Sunday night, or whatever the new night is going to be if you all want to change. And we'll work as best we can for all of you to do that. And it's important for all of you to know that those success stories are what gives the impetus to people to start talking to other people, because when you can share these really outrageous, wonderful, remarkable, miraculous stories with other people, well, that allows them to feel that, hey, this thing worked for those people, why not for me too? And you have no idea how many hundreds, thousands of people have started drinking the JC just because they heard one of those stories. Because they're talking to a person, even to me, and they're doubtful, and they go, well, I don't know, I've tried so many things, and they go on and on and on. But when they hear a couple of stories, which is what you should be doing, sending them to those stories to them, all of a sudden they start to say, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I keep repeating things that you've all heard time and again, except for the new folks on the line, of course. Those of you new to the call have not heard a lot of these things, but the greatest one is, again, it's our pal Lenny, who was called by someone to drink the tonic. And on the first call, the lady said, I got this great product, and it'll be good for you, and you got these health issues. And she says, lady, not interested. I'm broke. I spend all my money on doctors, on supplements. Nothing worked. Goodbye. Click. She calls right back, and she says, whatever she says. He said, lady, don't you understand English? I said, no, click. She calls back right away a third time. And before he could hang up, she says, what if it works? She didn't say hello. She didn't say, but Lenny, she said, what if it works? And those are the words that got him to drink it. And when he does the call in a week or so there on August the 15th, you get on the call and ask him questions. He can open the lines, just as I have done tonight. If anybody wants to jump in and speak, you *6, and you'll have an open line. Now remember, if you *6 and you're not speaking, put your own phone on mute so we don't get the background noises in there. So that's what happened with him, and that's what got him to drink it. And you know what? In the first hour when he drank it, he saw a difference. You get him to tell the story. It is so wild. It's amazing. And when you see his before and after pictures, let me tell you, you're gonna try this no matter what. And that's what the folks who hear the stories, friends of yours, family members, people who are suffering, people who have all kinds of health issues and can't get rid of them, and they're on the medication and under doctor's care, under anybody's care, and nothing works. It seems nothing works, and they're getting worse and worse. Do them a favor. Imagine how you could change their life. Do you love them? Do you at least like them? If you do, share the JC. And I know it's difficult for a lot of people to discuss it, but you don't want to get into a long discussion about how the botanicals work and the bidirectionality. And you can't. There's just too much. Doesn't matter what you say. Anybody you talk to, a scientist is going to get mixed up when you start telling them everything that we've got to say. So what you have to do is determine what their health issue is and talk about that. So what we've done and we're doing now, and as we speak, we are doing it. So little by little, we'll get it together. It's a big, big, big job. But all the success stories that you have called in that we've got now on our SoundCloud and on our Dropbox. By the way, do you know where that is? Do you know how to get to there? Find out. Make sure you know how. All the calls that are here that we're doing, like tonight, are archived there. But we've gone a step further. We've taken the calls, and instead of listening to me chat for an hour, and then somebody else say, well, I went downtown and I met somebody, and then we get right to the crux of it, right to the testimonial itself. And it's all going to be in alphabetical order. So mental problems of any kind, we don't want to say we have a product that's for dementia, for Alzheimer's, or we don't want to make any claims. We just want people who have all those health issues to drink this and see if it changes their quality of life. And it will. That first bottle will get it started. It may take a long time. You may have to start with a half an ounce. Some people may be so ill that it takes a while before their body starts to turn around and do something. But it will happen if you have the patience, if you go through it with the person and stick with them, be their cheerleader. So you get them a bottle, and you know what? You can give them a bottle and tell them, look, if it works, you pay me. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. And you know what? They'll pay you because it works. They'll be so happy they'll want to buy more. And then they'll want to buy the 4-pack because they'll get a better price on it. So you make sure they get that. But you can save lives starting tonight. As soon as the call is over, take out your contact list. Look at all the people that you know, all the family members, all your friends, your pals, your workmates, and just make a note next to their name what they suffer of. They all suffer of something. Something is going wrong with their health. And wowee, the JC Tonic, it just does it all. So folks, here's what you do. You make sure we have your mobile number. I don't care if you've done it before, do it again. Text it to the number that I just gave you, 702-482-5290. Make sure we have it. And tell us while you're texting it, I need stories on. And you can mention high sugar level, blood pressure imbalances, joint pains, any kind. And put in there, whatever it is, fibromyalgia, arthritis, and so on. And we will send you to your phone those particular ones. So if you have 2 or 3 and you need them, tell us what they are. We'll send them over to your phone, and you will have them on your phone. So when you meet your pal Mary or John, and you start talking about their health issues, and they're telling you again that they haven't found anything, you just say, listen to this, Mary, and click, and put the phone to her ear. Oh, put it on speakerphone. What am I talking about? And listen to it together. You will see her eyes light up, and I guarantee you she's going to want to try it on the spot. If you send them this call that I'm doing, or any call that I've done, or Lenny's done, or anyone's done, and what we're talking about the tonic and what it does and how it does, and Dr. Mowry and all this, they won't listen long enough to get to the testimonial. So you want to get them to listen to the testimonial. That is what's going to get them to think maybe it'll work for me. So basically, as the way it happened with Lenny, you tell them, what if it works? Because when they say, oh, it can't be possible, that story, click on another one, give them another story, and tell them, look, Mary, what if it works? And there you are. That's all you have to do. All right? So there are a lot of ways that all of you can help other people simply, without any cost. Do what I asked you. Send in the information we need to be able to help you put this together. So we can load your phones with all these great snippets. We're calling them snippets. They're just a snippet of the testimonial. So you'll have it all in your phone instantaneously, no matter where you are at your place of work. And somebody says, oh, I have this terrible stomach problem. I can't. You go down your list and find the ones we have on digestive problems and click, listen to this, Mary. And all of a sudden she's going to say, holy cow, what is that stuff? And there you go. You go to the trunk of your car, make sure you have a bottle or two with you at all times, and tell them here, you know what? If they think it's going to work, they don't even care how much it is, even though they might think it's too expensive. But if it gets rid of their problem, it's not only not too expensive, it's downright cheap. So don't be worried about the cost. I talked to somebody this week who said, yes, but I'm not selling it, and so it's costly. Well, you don't have to sell it. If you just share it with other people, and they end up buying a bottle or two or 5 or 10 or 20, you can earn $5 a bottle against every bottle that the order is placed against your next order. And we have people who drink for free because of that. So you're not selling, you're not building a business, you're not in business. You're just sharing this with other people so that they can get a better quality of life. And that's the way you have to look at it. And even our long-term strong ambassadors who have built a business and are making quite an income. Well, of course, it's a business for them and it's a livelihood, but they're only able to do it because they share this. They tell, they do not sell. And if you tell people and show them the way and give them these examples, they're going to want to have a better life, and this is going to give it to them. And since they've tried so many things and spent so much money over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years with no results, they're going to take a shot for another few dollars, and they're going to be satisfied this time. So you just need to be their cheerleader to make sure they drink that first bottle. That's all you have to do. You have to be there with them and guide them. Tell them about the healing crisis. Let them know that they may have to start with a little less so their body gets used to it. Maybe they can start right away with an ounce. Tell them if they're feeling good on an ounce and things are starting to happen, go to 2 ounces, see what happens. But you have to be there, the cheerleader. Believe me, at that point, they're going to want to know all about it. That's fine. Send them to the website. Everything is there. Bidirectionality, Doc Mowry, 10 reasons why this is a whole body tonic. All those good things are there. But don't inundate them with all this information before they've even drank the product, because you will lose them. There's just too much. They're not going to be listening. They're impatient. They're not feeling well. They don't want to think about things. So get them going on that first bottle, and believe me, you're going to know when they're going to start saying, wow, this is fantastic. You know what? I know somebody who could use this. Bam, there you are. All of a sudden, you don't want to have a business. You're not doing a business, but there's some volume that starts to happen, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're drinking for free. We don't have any ambassadors of health who don't drink for free. What's the point of being an ambassador if you're not going to drink at least for free? Now, if you want to make $5,000 a month, that's possible too. But don't start with that. Start with making sure you help people, making sure that you pay it forward. Your good fortune, why you feel good, why you got better, it's time now to pass it on. So you pass it on, you get other people feeling better, and before you know it, they're starting to buy and contribute to your drinking free. That's the first thing you have to do. Drink free. After that, if you want to build a business, go right ahead. But you know what? You will already have a business by then. If you're drinking free, that means there's enough people out there who are buying the JC Tonic, contributing at $5 a bottle, that you will become an ambassador. When you become an ambassador, it becomes $8 a bottle. And then so on. And there are other ways of increasing your commissions every month and your revenue. But that's down the road. You got to start crawl before you can walk and run. And that's what you do. You get a whole pile of people feeling good. Let me tell you, the word gets out in your community, in your church, in your club, in your health club, in your card game club. Wherever there are people at your workplace, word starts getting around. Hey, Mary over there, she's got this juice there that boy, oh boy, is it incredible. That's how people are, and they'll talk like that. And you'll be there just filling the orders with the bottles. So it's doable. Just try it, watch, and see how easy it is, okay? So those are a few things, and you know what? I'd like to bring on my old pal Lenny so he can talk it up a bit and just tell you that he's going to be on August the 15th, and he has a program set up ready. And by the way, he's a very experienced ambassador of health, so any of you who do want to build a business, he'll be the person to ask questions to. You can do that on that call. So let's see. Anybody want to jump on in here? You just *6.
Hi, Anthony.
Oh, Betty's there. Hi, Betty.
How are you tonight?
I am just dynamite. How are you, my dear?
Yeah, I'm good. I have a question, and I actually run into this question quite often, especially people who have some issues regarding heart, because so many people who are on the tonic now have experienced either heart surgeries or things along those lines. So whenever that seems to happen, they're given blood thinners to take. Now they always ask me with the tonic, because it does thin your blood, if it's safe to continue with their blood thinners. So the advice I give to them is, always check with your doctor, because we're not doctors. But the JC Tonic does help with cleaning your blood. So is that a good response at this point for them to get them to check with their doctor first before recommending, the possibility that they can perhaps cut back at some point? Many people have told me they've stopped their blood thinners and, the tonic works just fine, but everybody, of course, is different. So I just want to make sure I'm giving them the proper advice when it comes to blood thinners.
Well, Betty, I think the basic answers you've given are correct. We do not want people to start cutting their medication unless they can measure. For example, if somebody's measuring their blood sugar and they're on medication and they're taking the tonic, and all of a sudden they see when they measure their blood sugar the next day or the week after that it's lower and lower and lower, you could think they could safely start to wean themselves from their medication, and they'll probably see the blood sugar go up again. And as they continue the tonic, it'll start to go down again. Then they know they're on the right track. But blood thinner, you can't measure. So you don't know if your blood is too thin or not too thin. So you're best to wait until you go back to your next checkup, because they will determine and they will see that your blood is not needing as much, and they're going to reduce the prescription. Because that's what doctors do. If you don't need too much, or if it's starting to work, or the problem is correcting, whatever the reason, whether it was the JC Tonic or the medication or your diet or whatever it is, if you're improving, they're going to cut the medication. So I think those kind of things that you cannot see is a different story. When you get to blood pressure, it's another thing. You can measure it. You can see that it's going down or going up or whatever it's doing. So you're much more able to wean yourself a little, because it's easy if you take, say, 3 pills a day and then you end up taking 2. If the blood pressure goes up, then you can take the third one and it'll come down. It's not like a big deal. But things that you cannot see, it's a little bit more difficult. Other things like pain of a joint or something, look, if you can endure the little bit more pain, or if it gets a little less, and you reduce the medication, it's not life-threatening, and you can feel it. So I think for the blood thinner, best to let the doctor decide, hey, your blood is in much better condition, whatever you've been doing, and we're going to reduce your prescription.
Okay. Another question I get all the time is so many people are on either other herbals or, vitamins, things along those lines. And I always recommend that they try the tonic on its own. Let the tonic do its job. And if they did want to continue, because I ran across someone the other day, he just got on the tonic, and he said, well, I have all these vitamins I just bought. So he said, I'd like to finish them off. So I said, well, if you really want to do that, I don't feel you have to. But if you really want to do that, then make sure it's 2 hours apart from when you take your JC Tonic. But so many people spend, hundreds of dollars every month on all these other concoctions, and, I'm always telling them, let the tonic do its job for you. It'll really prove itself to you. So is that good advice I'm telling them as well?
I have just spoken to 3 people this past week about that very same thing, starting new on it. And I tell them what I tell every person I ever talk to. If you're going to try something, whether it's JC Tonic or anything else, any one of your other supplements, don't take 5 or 6 or 10 different ones and add a new one. You'll never know if it works. So the best thing is to finish up what you have so you don't waste your money, and then start drinking the JC and drink it all by itself. So you'll be able to measure. You'll know in your heart that it works or it doesn't. If it doesn't work, you scrap it. If it works, you won't have to waste your money on all the rest of the stuff that you've been taking for years that seemingly has not worked. And I tell every person, that's part of my presentation to every person, and I think everyone should say the same thing, because you will never know if it's the JC Tonic. If you're taking 5 or 10 other things, you will never believe it. You'll think it could have been this, it could have been the combination, it could have been everything. But if you take one thing only, you will know, and you'll know in your heart that it works. And you'll be able to then make the decision. So I don't want people to waste their money, so I usually tell them, finish everything you've got, and when you get your tonic, start it all by itself, and you'll see.
Well, the thing is, too, if they're ordering the tonic, obviously everything they're on possibly isn't working.
It's not working.
It's not working, so why are you calling me, if you're
but
if you
why,
don't want to give it a shot?
Yeah, but why would you continue taking all the stuff that has not worked if you're going to try something new like the JC Tonic?
Yeah, exactly.
And when you tell them that in those words, they think and they say, you're right, because a lot of people just don't think about that, and it's like, just continue what I was doing, and I'll add the tonic, and I hope it works. But if you bring it up, and a lot of people do not want to bring it up because they don't want to upset the person or insult them that they're taking other things, it's nothing to do with that. It has to do simply that you want to make sure that this works.
I'm going to go back on mute because my dogs are barking. I'm going to go back
okay.
on mute.
Let them bark.
Sorry.
Yeah. Do we need some dogs? Anyway, you have a good dog story. You should tell everybody. That's why your dog's barking. If it wasn't for the tonic, you wouldn't even be barking. Okay. So anybody else want to jump in and say a word or have a good question? Those were great questions that everybody is asked at some point, and everybody encounters, and a lot of people don't know quite how to handle it. So those were 2 great questions, and I think if you have any questions, anyone on the line, you want to jump in, just *6 and jump on in. and say who you are and what's your question. Oh, we have nobody. Nobody. I think you've all started your summer holidays like we want to do ours, so we will keep this call short tonight and let you get on with life and all that wonderful summer weather. Folks, it is always a pleasure to have you. We're so happy that you do get to the call. It is emailed, so you can share it that way. You also know that you can call a recall number after the call, that it's there immediately. So if you have friends that missed this call and say, shoot, what do I do to give them that number? All those numbers are in our emails every week, along with all of the archives, so many great stories that you can use. And as I said earlier, if you get your mobile number into us, whoever you are, doesn't matter whether you're building a business, not building a business. If you have this stuff on your phone, when you do meet somebody in a week or two or three or four, and they say, you know what, my mother is suffering from mental problems. She's forgetting a lot. You say, really? No kidding. Hold on, Mary. And you just go down. We got this great one, Jimmy, that he said he had full-blown Alzheimer's, for Pete's sakes. And he's on the call. He's 79 years old. If you have a call like that, and he says, this is Jimmy, and I'm 79 years old, and I was suffering from this, let me tell you, that person is going to be so happy that they ran into you. So whether you're planning to use it or you have anybody in mind at the moment, doesn't matter. Send in your numbers and let us load your phones with all this, okay? And on that note, I'm going to bid you all a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening. And Betty, if you're still listening, thanks a lot for jumping in. Those were great questions. Folks, have a great evening. Don't forget, it'll be August the 15th, but we'll confirm all this in our email blast out to you this week. And for anybody who needs anything other than listening to me, just call 800 JC Tonic, leave a message. We'll get back to you with whatever you need, whatever question you have, whatever info you have, and so on. And get those mobile numbers into us, and we'll start sending you the snippets, okay? So have a great one, and don't forget, take an ounce and feel the bounce. Good night for now.
Jurak Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and or function of your body in various ways. But it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Jurak Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.